Right now, global geopolitics is often described as a staring contest between Washington and Beijing. The narrative suggests the world is fracturing into a second Cold War, forcing every other nation to pick a side in a rigid standoff between the United States and China. But the actual data on international leverage tells a different story. The 2025 Asia Power Index evaluates 131 indicators. It shows the U.S. at its lowest power score ever, while China narrows the margin. The index tracks a specific threshold for major power status. In 2025, for the first time in the post-Cold War era, India crossed it. This data establishes a new hierarchy for the Indo-Pacific. At the top, in Tier 1, are the two established superpowers. Down in Tier 3 are historically dominant players like Japan, Russia, and Australia, nations whose power scores have either stalled or declined. Sitting entirely alone in Tier 2 is India. With a score of 40.0, it has pulled away from the regional pack, leaving the stagnant powers of Tier 3 behind. By separating itself from both the regional cluster and the top-tier superpowers, New Delhi is attempting to carve out a role as a third pole, an independent weight in a world that was supposed to be bipolar. That independence is built on a foundation of hard power. The 2026 Global Firepower Index, a ranking of conventional war-making capability, ranks India as the fourth most powerful military on Earth, trailing only the US, Russia, and China. With over 1.4 million active personnel, India is the world's second-largest active force. They are currently executing a modernization strategy to transform a technologically dated military into a network-centric one, a force that uses high-speed data and sensors to coordinate land, sea, and air assets in real time. This isn't just theoretical. In May 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor. Its performance in that operation led to significant upgrades in how international experts appraise India's combat readiness and its ability to integrate new technology under pressure. By building its own advanced missiles and space-based sensors, New Delhi is ensuring that its military strategy cannot be vetoed by the superpowers in Tier 1. To maintain that military autonomy, a nation also needs energy security. India is the world's third-largest consumer of electricity, and for years that growth was tied to imported fossil fuels. To break that dependency, the country has pivoted to a massive expansion of domestic, non-fossil power. In June 2025, India reached a major milestone. 50% of its total installed electricity capacity now comes from non-fossil sources. They reached this goal 5 years ahead of the target they set for themselves in the Paris Agreement. The government is now doubling down on this trajectory. Their current roadmap targets 500 gigawatts of renewable capacity by 2030, supported by the Green Hydrogen Mission, a plan to use renewable energy to produce clean-burning hydrogen fuel for heavy industry. By uncoupling its economy from global energy shocks, India gains the freedom to make diplomatic choices without fearing a resource blockade or a sudden spike in oil prices. In January 2026, this growing leverage was put to work as India assumed the presidency of BRICS. BRICS is a major economic bloc originally consisting of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which has recently expanded to include several other emerging nations. New Delhi's strategy within the group is negotiated autonomy. They are positioning themselves as a leader for the Global South, the developing nations of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, while simultaneously resisting the anti-Western rhetoric that often dominates the bloc's more radical members. While some members call for a total abandonment of the US dollar, India has pushed for a middle ground. They are promoting BRICS Pay, a system for diversifying trade and using local currencies, while maintaining the grouping's credibility with global financial institutions. Even as they lead the BRICS nations, India remains a key member of the Quad, a security partnership between the US, Japan, Australia, and India. This multi-alignment strategy makes India a unique bridge. They are perhaps the only major power capable of negotiating with both the G7 and the expanded BRICS Plus bloc without being fully absorbed into either camp. While 2025 marked India's arrival as a major power, the government's eyes are on a longer horizon, Vikasit Bharat 2047. This is a vision to transform the country into a fully developed nation by the 100th anniversary of its independence. The objective is a $30 to $40 trillion economy built on leadership in sunrise sectors like semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and space exploration through ISRO, India's national space agency, and its Gaganyaan crewed spaceflight program. But the third pole still faces significant friction. In Washington, unpredictable trade policies and potential tariffs could threaten the Make in India initiative, which relies on access to Western markets. In Beijing, China still maintains a power score nearly double that of India's and holds a dominant grip on the critical mineral supply chains India needs for its green energy transition. Domestically, there is an innovation gap. To truly compete in high-tech manufacturing, India needs to nearly triple its spending on research and development, moving from 0.7% to at least 2% of its total GDP. As they can navigate these risks, the global balance of power shifts permanently. As Washington and Beijing prepare for decades of friction, the trajectory of the 21st century may be decided by the third pole.